Hello friends, welcome to another video of car reviews. Today we have a very interesting video ahead of us. My friends in Aldridge Vehicles called me and said, you know what, we have two interesting cars for you. You will be very interested to review this and have a look at it and share it with our consumers and our viewers. So here we have two famous family SUVs or family SUV cars that are most sought after, and they're very equally matched. To my right we have the MG HS 1.5 TGDI exclusive model, which is the top of the line, and to my left we have the VW Tiguan 1.5 TSI dual clutch R line. The reason why my friends called me and told you need to compare this is obviously brand wise there's a difference. However, spec wise, age wise and newness wise, both are very similarly matched. So we thought, you know what, viewers have a lot of questions when they want to make decisions with regard to family SUVs and in terms of price, because money is a big deciding factor, versus what you get for the money you pay. So both of these, we thought, obviously there's a bit of a gulf between both the cars in terms of prices. However, spec wise they are very similar. So let's get into the video and see what these cars have to offer us. I want to talk to you about why I feel the MG HS, considering it's a non-premium brand, what attracted me to it personally, some cosmetic bits that I was drawn to. First, let's look at the lights here. It has got full-time DRL, daytime running lights, and full LED with high beam assist as well, and it's got scrolling indicators, which is very upmarket and very few models have in the VW brand as well. Next we have 18-inch alloy wheels, which come as stock from the dealers with Michelin Primacy tires, which are premium tires. Next we have keyless entry, and if you come to the back right here, we have an electronic tailgate, so one touch automatic tailgate, which is very good for families, especially when you go for shopping with kids and all. Now we have the VW Tiguan 1.5 TSI with us. Now let's see what attracts me to this car cosmetically, because comparing to the previous one, the MG HS. First, again, back to headlights. I love a car with good headlights. It is necessary. This has two set of LEDs, one for low beam and one for high beam, which obviously, considering VW being a premium brand, it is quite upmarket. They don't need to do much in terms of brand awareness, if you know what I mean. Second, the comparison wise, what this car has versus the other, this car, VW Tiguan, has front sensors, which the MG HS doesn't have. What I like about this car is also the diamond cut wheels. It's 20-inch diamond cut wheels with Continental Conti Sport tires, because of the R line, and that is why it's got the 20-inch wheels. But what this car doesn't have is the pan roof that the MG's HS has. And also, it doesn't have an electric tailgate. So that is where I would say the MG HS offers a bit more in terms of value. Okay guys, let's sit inside and let me give you my opinion of first feel of how it is when I sit. First, everything looks tight. I feel like I'm sat properly, surrounded by everything, right where my hands can reach them. And seating wise, it's very, I wouldn't say too soft, and I wouldn't say it's too firm. It's quite perfect actually. I was surprised by the quality of the seat. Look at that, guys! My goodness. I mean, I wouldn't have expected this from MG for sure. And the color, the kind of finish, like from an overview, from the outset when you look at it, it's amazing. I must be honest, it looks amazing. Obviously, when you start looking deep inside, you can find some gaps, like there are some scratchy plastics. Obviously, that's been the highlight in every video. But when you see the finish of it, like overall, from when you just glance through, it looks absolutely amazing. But yeah, the leather-wrapped steering wheel feels very firm and nice, and little soft touch materials here. It's got a tweeter. It's pretty good. And looking at the interiors, I can tell you that overall it's pretty good fit and finish wise. But the only question I have is, we don't know about the longevity of how long these will stay as it looks. So that is one thing that we don't know yet. Like for example, the steering wheel looks absolutely amazing. Potentially it looks pretty similar to the ones that you get in a VW GTD, Golf GTD. And I want to draw your attention to this particular button here. I don't know if our viewers can actually understand where this is from. This is exactly feels like an i20N or i20N. Yeah, that's the N button, and looks so. What I'm saying is that they have, so the interior design wise, they have copied bits and pieces from different cars, but I wouldn't say it's the most practical. Like for example, when you open it here and you plug plug the cable, you don't really have much space to store your phone. I mean, when you look at it from a bird's eye view, once you're sat inside the car, it looks all nice, but practically, I don't know as much. But you have some clever functionalities right where you need them in terms of practicality and usage. You have parking brakes here, just a button touch. There you go, and that's it. And hill hold assist, brilliant. Mode button right here, and it's got the alerting danger lights right here, and then it's got the E mode and electronic tailgate button right here. I mean, when you see all of that, it's a lot of spec for the money you pay. Now guys, let's sit in the VW Tiguan and let's get a feel of what it is. First impressions. I feel my body has a bit more space in this car. That's what I feel in terms of the interior upholstery surrounding you. This feels a bit more not so tight and surrounded, if you know what I mean. Like for example, the seats are a bit more free, I would say. I wouldn't say as comfortable because I felt the seat in the MG HS had a bit more padding, but this feels absolutely fine. I wouldn't say it's bad or it's good. It's absolutely fine is what I say. Yes, now if you look at the steering wheel, this obviously you can see it has an upmarket feeling. Like you can see the steering controls are all lit up. Definitely, I can tell you that the steering wheel feels quite upmarket. The fit and finish here, the layout is very simple. The MG HS I felt had a bit more premium look, but when you look at the layout and practicality of the layout, the VW obviously feels a bit better. The cockpit, my goodness, that definitely is a highlight for me. Look at that. That's a full digital display. Looks amazing. Everything, that's the best part of VWs, you know. Practicality wise, everything is where it should be. What I might not like is the touchscreen faffing of touchscreen controls to Climatronic is all touchscreen. It's not got physical buttons, which could mean that while you're driving, you'll have to fiddle about, and that can be unpleasant and not quite enjoyable experience while driving. But it's got a full digital screen. Look at that. That's the other thing. I mean, these are all for people who are quite, might have a slightly OCD kind of, who are concerned about the looks when they're driving. Like you can see the smudge marks, which can be quite annoying. Some people it might not, but yeah, that's my initial impressions. Everything is where it should be. Lot of space, lot of cubby holes. Similar to the MG, you will find the automatic start-stop function here, parking sensors here, auto hold function when you stop at the traffic signal. Parking brakes are right here, and mode button. Pretty similar, and it's got the engine start-stop very comfortably right here. So yeah. One thing that I really liked about the VW Tiguan is the cup holders in the front next to the driver's seat. It is amazing. I want to draw your attention to this clever functionality here so that you can be assured that your coffee is safe even if you're going about quite sportily, if you're driving quite sportily. Look at this. You put your cup here and press this, and it kind of hugs the coffee mug or cup in its place. That's brilliant actually. That's why I feel, like I mentioned earlier, everything is where it should be. Practicality wise, perfectly like typical VW. Let's look at some practicality of the VW Tiguan. First, it doesn't open fully, but you still do have decent amount of space to get in. Right. Lots of space, very comfortable. Things to note here, if you look at it, physical buttons to control heating or cooling. That's really good. And you got a 12-volt socket here and a USB Type-C charging as well, specifically for phones. That's amazing. They are not heated seats. And I also want to draw your attention to ISOFIX. So great for families. And the middle one, there you go. You have cup holders here. Let me see what it would be for a three people abreast if they have to travel. I think for short journeys it's absolutely fine, but it might be a bit of a squeeze for 3 adults in here. But if there's a kid in the middle, it should be absolutely fine. But for long journeys, definitely, because there's the big transmission tunnel going through, might be a bit difficult. But loads of space for anybody sitting at the back. Some nifty features here for space storage. You have small pockets here, and you have a small pocket here as well to store files or bits and pieces. The good thing I want to draw your attention to also is the cup holders and the bottle holders are all felt lined. So obviously if you have anything inside, they won't rattle about. That is a good feature, which is typical to, again, VW. And I like this feel. There you go. It looks nice. Right, let's look at the practicality boot space. Right when you open the tailgate, you're open to a huge space of 615 liters. That's quite a lot. Quickly though, things to point out, it does have a deep lip, so you need to be mindful of that. But it's not too high, so I think you might need to do a bit of lifting, but that's a point to note. Nifty features here. One pull, seats go in the front. Same here. The seat's easy to fold down. No need to go in the front and do some adjustments. It's simple as it is, but you might not be able to get the luggage straight away because obviously you can see here there's a bit of a ridge here, so that's one thing to note. But apart from that, acres of space, 615 liters, that's quite a lot. Like, that's actually, if you got a good bedding here, sit like this and travel. Back to the MG now. Let's look at the practicality of the MG HS at the back. Come with me. First off, I can immediately note this door, I feel, opens slightly more wider than the VW Tiguan. Let's get in. Right. Straight away, I can tell the biggest difference that I felt immediately as I got in. You see this gap? I didn't have this in the VW Tiguan. The VW Tiguan, I felt that there was a bit more under-thigh support, and space-wise, there was a bit more. But look at the seats. Obviously, that impacts the kind of storage you have. This has got a bit more clever way of holding things at the back. It looks more upmarket, I feel, even though the finish and longevity, like I mentioned, is a question. This has AC vents at the back, but it does not have any controls. It does have, though, two USB Type A slots for your phone charging. Similar here, but the seats are, I feel, it's a bit more tighter for adults to sit in. But the advantage here, it does not have the big transmission tunnel in between, so it might be a bit easier to squeeze in. However, you see the gap again. This is what I was talking about earlier, that it's a bit more comfortable on a longer journey for any adult sitting here in the VW Tiguan. But this is not too bad either, because the seats right at the back kind of go down a bit more deeper, and that kind of compensates for it, is what I feel. But it's a nice place to be. The significant advantage I want to draw you to is the pan roof. Like, look at that. That gives you a good feel and an upmarket feeling that you're traveling in a really expensive car. Right, let's look at the boot space in the MG HS. As I come to open the tailgate, oh, lovely lights, I like that. Electronic tailgate, easy, nice and easy. Firstly, what you'll note, it does not have a lip, which is a significant difference from as you look at the boot straight away. You are greeted to 463 liters of space, but I must tell you, significantly less spacious than the VW Tiguan. That is 615. That's quite a difference. But easier to put stuff in and out. And you have the nice and nifty parcel shelf, easy to pull out and fold back. We just need to find if there's space to store. And this is, you got some space here as well. Oh, it is quite deep actually. It is just repurposed for something else. Potentially, you could get a spare wheel, a space saver spare wheel in there. Or if you're keen to do up your system, you could get a subwoofer in there and no one will know. So yeah, pretty okay in terms of usage and practicality, but space-wise, definitely the VW Tiguan wins out by a margin. The advantage in the Tiguan is that you get a quick nifty feature where you can just pull the lever and the seats go down. In this though, you don't get that. You need to physically push the lever on the seats, on the rear seats, and they go down. But the good thing is, you practically will get a flat floor throughout. There we go. As you can see, pardon, it's a bit dirty there, but you'll get a full flat floor, opening you to a lot more space and room, which obviously means practicality. When you think about it, it is actually a bit more practical. But yeah, it's depending on what you're going to use more often. To summarize, I have had a fantastic day. Thanks to the guys at Aldrich Vehicles for offering the cars and willing to join in test driving and sharing the views and options that are available in both these lovely cars. From a user perspective, the MG is absolutely not bad at all because of the value that you get out of the money you pay, and that will be a huge factor in making the decision when you're in the market for a mid-sized SUV. And if you are in the market for a truly tried and tested product that will really keep you worry-free for next 3, 4, 5 or 7 years of ownership, then yeah, you can look at the Tiguan as an option. But otherwise, from a cost saving perspective, from a day-to-day user perspective, and if you're not going to be thrashing it around and just for day-to-day use, the MG is actually a really good proposition. So think about that, and thank you for patiently watching this video. And I hope you enjoyed it. Please do share your thoughts and feedback on the comment section below, and stick around and stay tuned, and thank you.